I wasn't actually planning on doing this, but circumstances kind of dictated it, so I will share why I decided to tackle food storage and how I fared, and I have a few tips for you so that you can whip your food storage into shape too. Let's go! Hi guys, it's Laura from How to Do IST, and I help you get organized, get motivated, and get rid of clutter. At the end of my last decluttering video, I asked you which space you wanted to see next, mudroom or food storage. Maybe you could help me out. And it was actually about 50-50, but I had decided that I was going to tackle the mudroom because that was the place that was annoying me the most. But then I ended up in hospital. I'm sure you already know the story, so I won't bore you with it. If you don't, I will link my May video diary below. Go check it out. But long story short, changing my diet became more of a priority. So it was time to clear out the cupboards. I had three main areas that I wanted to tackle: the pantry, the fridge and freezer, and the baking cupboard. So let's see how I got on. So here is the current pantry situation. So on the bottom I keep some reusable bags, a little step for Scout to use, and then some paper towels. Bottom shelf is supposed to be snacks for Scout, some condiments, and then like pastas and grains and things. Here is kind of like meal prep stuff like potatoes and soups and, you know, things that you can prepare to make a meal. And this is supposed to be like ready to eat snacks, muffins, crackers. Here then, things like crisps and popcorn, chips. And then at the top is breakfast cereals. And then in this basket is really unhealthy stuff, so like sweets and chocolate. So it kind of has a general organization. It's not too bad. Oh, and these are just clips that I use for like clipping up like bags of things if after they've been opened. Yeah, it's not too bad, but obviously it could still use some loving. Clearing it out and cleaning it up only took a few minutes, thankfully. I really despise these wire shelves, though our new home, which we are moving to next week, has a small pantry. It's more a large cupboard, but it has wooden shelves that slide out. It is going to revolutionize my world. And also, if anyone's wondering, the storage tubs I use, the clear ones with the white lids, those are the OXO Pop containers. They come in a variety of sizes. I got mine a few years ago on Amazon. And empty. And it took me a few minutes to empty that out. So here is all the food. I'm going to go through it now, declutter what I can, categorize what's left, and put it back. This stuff I've just put here. Apart from actually getting rid of food, there are a few things that you can do to reduce the amount of space that your food is taking up. You would be surprised how much space you would save just by removing things from boxes. So lots of things come in wide boxes that take up a lot of shelf space. Instead, if you can fit them into narrow, taller containers, go for it. And another great way to save space is to combine contents. Sometimes there were two boxes of the same thing open, so I was able to condense two boxes into one. And for a lot of Scouts stuff, which can be small, you know, like mini cookies, little boxes of raisins, little packets of dried fruit, things like that, I just grabbed one storage tub and popped them all in together. That's as far as I go with the decanting. I know a lot of people decant cereals and pastas and things into storage tubs. I only do this if the box is almost empty and is taking up more space than a tub would, or if it just looks particularly messy, maybe it's falling over. I don't decant that stuff otherwise, because even though I think it looks lovely and I would love the uniform look, I balance that with the time I'm saving by just popping the box on the shelf instead. So for the most part in my life, I let the practical outweigh the pretty. Ta-da! Here is the after. I'm very pleased with it. Probably took me about an hour. On the top we have cereals. I did manage to get rid of some. Then over here I have basically junk food. I put it on this side. It was initially on this side. I put it over here because I just thought it would be a little bit more awkward to get to, so it might make us less inclined to eat junk. Coming down into this shelf then, I have basically like nuts, crackers, corn, crisps, and then some like bars that Sam eats. Down here then, grains, so potatoes and pasta. Moving down, these are kind of more snack related things. And then on the bottom I have, again, kind of snack type things, but that require, like, that would go with a meal, so they would be added to something. And then on the bottom, still have the little step and my reusable bags. So let me show you everything I have taken out of the pantry, because you can probably tell it's not quite as full as it was. Some of you will know what this means. Look at the size of this bottle. The previous ones we had were like this size, and now he's got this big giant one. And no, hasn't used it. It's been sitting at the back of the pantry. Anyway, just some random sauces and things. Here then is stuff that I took out of the pantry that I'm not necessarily going to be getting rid of, but I'm going to be keeping for, you know, parties and things like that. I do have, see this bag here, this Macy's bag? It's full of junk food, basically. And then finally, this is all the stuff that is just leaving the pantry and is going to be dumped. A lot of it is just empty packaging. What I did was either kind of combined, if we had 2 boxes of the same, I combined them. Some of them have just been here for a while and are just like stale, gone off. But yeah, look at all of this stuff that I managed to remove from our pantry. Saved me a lot of space. Oh, and I forgot to show you where we put paper towels in this tiny little narrow cupboard. So that is them. So yeah, that is the pantry. Very happy with that. Fridge, freezer, next. Okay, I've got to do this quickly because the thing will start beeping at me if I leave the door open too long. It was really organized. It's not too bad overall, so it just needs a bit of a spruce up, and I'll just go through and remove any kind of expired veg or fruit or anything in there. And there goes the beep. Forgot to take a before picture here. Oh well, after we move, I'm going to start using liners for the fridge and probably most of the cupboards. So I buy thin rubber stuff in IKEA. I've talked about it before. It can be cut to size. It is perfect for stopping shelves getting dirty or scuffed or anything like that, stopping things sliding around. And it is going to make cleaning the fridge so much easier because it's so awkward and cumbersome to take out all of the shelves. And I just know that someday I'm going to drop one and it will smash into a million pieces. That has happened to me before with a drawer from our previous fridge. So liners are the way of the future. As with the pantry, I categorized everything and I tried to save as much space as possible by getting rid of bulky boxes and condensing what I could, which was pretty much nothing. And the fridge is now clean. That took me about 3/4 of an hour, but it is currently spotless. Now to put everything back. Okay, again, I've got to do this quickly because it will beep at me. Dairy again on the top, looking nice and clean. Snack type things. Drinks are all here, including Scout's drink here, front and center. Leftovers are opened stuff. Fruit, no fruit at the minute, so I'm going to have to stock up on some at the store. Veg, need more veg as well. Red meat at the bottom. I don't eat red meat, so just Sam has one thing in there. I've put all of the cheeses in here now. Dairy plus the wine, cooking wine. Juice, what's left of the condiments, just mayonnaise, because I threw out the other 3 jars of sauces that were there. They're not in the best shape. And then there is some cider down there that we don't drink, but we keep it there just in case, you know, somebody comes to visit and they want hard liquor. Ugh, and there's the beep again. And this is everything I removed from the fridge. So here's some expired stuff. These are going to go in with the kind of seasoning, spices, things. All of the fruit went because that's not, it's past its prime, let's just say. Same with the tomatoes, which are technically a fruit, but you know. These drinks I'm just going to remove. We don't actually drink these. We bought them for a party, so I think maybe Sam is going to take them into work with him or something. And then these are just empty containers. So there was a little bit of a sandwich left in here. I ate that. This was an empty box I found in the fridge. And then these were just 2 bottles that I decanted into 2 other bottles that were also half full. That's everything gone from the fridge, and now I have to tackle the freezer. This is a little bit packed, as you can see, but that is the way freezers are supposed to be. And this one definitely is packed. So on top of the ice box here, Sam has some stuff, more stuff here. Everything is just jammed in. No rhyme or reason to it. And then in the drawers we have ice creams and ice lollies and things. And more things in these shelves. But I have no idea what is supposed to go in this teeny tiny little shelf, like what could possibly go in there. But anyway, I'll take everything out, categorize it, clean, put everything back in. Had to work quickly on this one because we don't have another freezer and it is summer here in Cincinnati, so it is warm. Hauled ass and got everything out in a few minutes. I went through it very quickly and then I had to shove it all back in because it was time to collect Scout. This is all I took out of the freezer. Obviously not much, but in fairness, I have decluttered a lot from the pantry and the fridge, so. Okay, it is day 2. Yesterday when I made dinner, I made it a point to use up some of the stuff in the freezer because, as you saw, it's pretty packed. And freezers are supposed to be packed, but like packed to the point where I can't even see things, and when I take something out, something else is falling out. Ugh. I was dreading the cleaning part here, but this actually only took me about 10 or 15 minutes. Again, though, using liners will make this job much easier in the new home. Okay, that only took me a few minutes, which was great. Top 2 rows are mostly just regular kind of frozen meals and things. I do have these ice molds just because they didn't really fit anywhere else. This is all frozen veg, and then in the drawers I still have ice creams and things, and then these were just random boxes and things that had no real home. Still haven't found a use for this teeny tiny shelf up here. It's there anyway. But yeah, that is done. And now I am on to the baking cupboard. Wait till you see this. Okay, here we are. It probably doesn't look bad from this vantage point, but like once you get right in there, you can see the things are just thrown in. Look at all this stuff just thrown in the back. And these cookbooks are basically just here for show. I always have great intentions of learning how to cook, and I really should now that I'm trying to overhaul my diet. These are lovely books and I do love them, and they were gifts and they have survived all my KonMari purges because they're really, really great books, but I need to actually utilize them. But yeah, that's the situation. We also use it as kind of a pantry overflow. I hate food preparation of any description. So even though I wish I were, Martha Stewart or Stepford wife, Pinterest mother type who bakes with her kids and always looks immaculate, the reality is that I'm not. I'm not good at that. I don't enjoy it and I don't dwell on it too much. I think sometimes we have a tendency to want to overcome our weaknesses, and while that is great, I think we also need to recognize that sometimes we're just not good at something, and instead of focusing a huge amount of energy on making minimal gains in that area, we should be putting that towards improving on and maybe honing what we already are good at. I'm not saying I wouldn't love to be able to bake, but I don't let it detract from the things that I actually can do and the things that I actually enjoy doing. Only took about 5 minutes to empty it out, but oh, look at all of the stuff. Yeah, I think it should be reasonably easy to categorize. Not sure how much of it I'm going to be able to declutter. Some of that depends on Sam, but we'll do our best. Categorizing didn't take too long, but it did take me a while to put things back. I had a vision for where I wanted everything to go, but alas, it didn't all fit that way, so I had to take the stuff back out and start again. Sometimes you just have to roll with the punches. Didn't get rid of too much out of the cupboard. This stuff is... These are kind of little chocolates and stuff left over from Easter. I'm going to put those in the pantry. User manual for the food blendery, mixery, processory thing. Hand mixer. There you go. These are some chalks. These are Easter specific chocks. My cereal, I think I'm just going to put in the pantry. I'm not eating it right now, but I tend to go through phases with food. I don't know if anyone else does that too, but I'll go through like several weeks where I will only eat one type of breakfast cereal. These are the ales. I'm going to pop those in a separate cupboard with kind of some, do you remember the food from yesterday? Like all the party stuff that I just pull out when we're having some form of get together. So I've separated those out. Same with these actually over here. This is a bottle. I'm not sure what I'm going to do with it yet. I am going to keep it, but I'm just not sure where to put it yet. And finally over here, just some extra stuff that I'm going to put into that like party cupboard. The neighborhood kids will sometimes come in and grab a snack, things like that. So they're always handy to have. And then this is the big reveal. This is the baking cupboard afterwards. I didn't actually dump anything at all. Everything I took out of here, that's not going back in. It's just stuff I'm moving elsewhere. So I've surprised myself with that. Okay, so let me show you shelf by shelf. I kept the books here. So these are all kind of like tools for baking. I did keep my lemon juice up here just because that's where I'm used to keeping it. That's where I reach for it every morning when I'm getting my glass of water. But like weighing scales, these are Scout's little baking hat and apron. So we kept those in there. Jug, the hand mixer. Down here then I kept kind of the ready mix, the mixing things. Next one down then is just like flour and sugar and things. Baking soda, baking powder. Still don't know what the difference is between the two, but there you go. Here then is kind of like cake decorating or little party accessory type things, cupcakey type things. And then this is just drinks. So we obviously can't pop all of them in the fridge, they won't all fit, so we just pop them in here and then we replenish as needed. I did start taking all the cans out of the box and lining them up, and then I was like, why am I doing this? Sometimes you have to balance being like type A and a bit of a perfectionist and just getting the job done. I'm really happy with how that worked out. Nearly fell over a tripod, but there you go. Yeah, that looks pretty good to me. And that is job done. I'm glad that I learned my lesson from the closet and didn't just pull everything out, like all of the food, because that would have been a disaster. And now it's a matter of slowly kind of whittling out the things that are not good for me, not part of this diet that I'm supposed to be going on. Yesterday after I went shopping, when I got home after I put the stuff away, and it was really easy to put away because everything is now organized, I then just took a few minutes to like chop up some carrots, wash all the veg, and I put it in like its own separate containers and stuff in the fridge. Overhauling my life, one area at a time. The big win for me is that I can easily see what I have and what I need so that I'm not constantly reaching for junk. When it comes to food, I am big into convenience, so meal prep can be a bit of a struggle. In order to kind of stop me reaching for the processed, frozen meals, it is important that I have, healthy snacks that are close at hand, very easy to access. That has been all the difference in this overhaul. Maybe not the biggest wow moment in terms of before and after, but on a daily basis, if it helps improve my diet and it keeps me healthy and pain-free, if it helps me live longer and watch my daughter grow up, then that is wow enough for me. If you want to know how I save lots of money on grocery shopping, then check out this video. It is full of all of my best tips. And until next time, Cura Mila Mahagwev, agus fegi me shif shigalua. Slán!